Hello and welcome to the Mal&Johnny Show. And this week it's a bit of a catch-up, really, because Johnny's been busy, I've been busy. Let's see what you've been up to. Johnny, I mean, it's been a tough couple of days, isn't it?
Well, I was filming for 3 days, 10-hour days. As you know what filming's like. It's a lot of standing up and doing things over and over and over. Very enjoyable, though. It was a thing called My Shout. I don't know if you remember, I did one last year when I played a rabbi. Well, they're short films made by the BBC, for the BBC and for S4C, depending what language it's in. The one I did was English.
Yeah.
The one that I played the rabbi, they have a festival then. When they do about 8 of these things, short films, they have a festival and they're voted on. And the winner, I was the winner. Well, not me. The one I was in was the winner last year. Yeah. So let's hope this one's going to be as good.
Fantastic. All right. So before we get on to your role, and you've also done a gig as well, yes, a heavy gig. So we're going to catch up on all of that. So Roger Burnell is the man behind it, isn't he? He's a great guy. I know Roger really well.
He's fantastic, Roger, because I mean, the whole thing is to bring on new film writers, new film directors, new film cameramen, the lot. So it's set up with all the director overlooking this. It was Gareth Rowlands, who I've known for years. He works for the BBC. So they've got professional people overlooking it, and then the trainees are there under their auspices. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's great because they're learning from the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they put like the likes of me and Mavalmay was on with me, and the one before was Donna. So they're competent actors, so that they're done properly, these films. So they're done at a professional standard. And then they go out on the BBC. I think they go on BBC Two, the English ones, and the Welsh ones, obviously, S4C.
Yeah, and of course it'll go online as well, so the iPlayer. So plenty of opportunities. But, with the industry growing so fast here in Wales, there's so many studios have opened up lately. It's great bringing people in, and we're always behind that, bringing great talent in. But if you can nurture your own talent and give people opportunities on their own doorstep. I always thought, when I used to go to studios in London, and the guy or girl used to be the tape op or the tea boy or tea girl, and then they get a chance to operate the tape machine, then they get a chance to be an engineer, and then all of a sudden they're a producer, and I always thought they were actually probably no more talented than people back home, but they had the opportunity because it was local and they got the break, an easy break where you could live at home with mum and dad and go in and do. So this is sort of a similar sort of an apprenticeship almost, isn't it?
Yeah, but lots of them have just finished their college degrees in Cardiff and PhDs and stuff. So some of them are from, Brighton or whatever, different places. Yeah. So there were some Welsh, but they were all sorts, and great bunch of kids,
Yeah.
And they're just willing to learn and enjoying it, you know what I mean?
All right.
But it was hectic. We were filming in a small house, okay?
Right.
Like a council house. And it was like 30 people in there.
you move,
so you're like
now.
this, and trying to look casual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was great to work with Valmay again. Do you know Valmay Jones? I worked with her first in 1967 when we were both on Disca Down.
Oh,
and I mean, we were like 20s, early 20s.
You haven't changed a bit.
And I remind her, and she hates it because it's so long ago.
So if you were a rabbi last time, I know obviously these things are under wrap. Can you say who your character was without giving away the storyline?
Yeah, it's about a family, okay? I won't tell the story now. It's about a family, and it's before Christmas.
Right.
And it's granddad. I'm the granddad, and I'm trying to arrange this huge Christmas event, get it all together, the lights and the food and all. So really, it's one of those. It's a bit of a black comedy. I won't say any more than that.
Right. The thing is, you're used to it. You are a granddad, and you're always organising something, and there's always lots of grandchildren around. So you're typecasting.
I don't believe I'm a granddad, though. That's the problem. I look in the mirror, I go, "No, you're a pop singer."
All right. So 3 days of filming. So that's three 10
Yeah, we were Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We were filming in Caerphilly. It was great, but we the catering, we have some sandwiches in between and some coffee and this and that. So one of the girls said, let's go to McDonald's. It's already down the road. So, of course, we asked the first. He said, you're not supposed to leave the set. You leave the set, you have a car crash, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he relented and off we went. Well, we get there. It's packed because it's lunchtime. And we're in a queue. And I said, we're not going to get back in time to start again. We were on pins. We just about made it. It's a naughty thing to do, really, but we enjoyed the McDonald's.
So, Johnny, recording for 3 days, 10 hours each. I mean,
yeah,
that sounds like an awful lot of film. But how long's the program?
Well, the thing is, you know, a film, it takes forever. I mean, to make a feature film, they take like about, I don't know, 6 months more. It's only a 15-minute short film,
right,
for the BBC. But you know what it's like. You've got to do the master shot, then you've got to do the over-the-shoulder
shot. What's the master shot? Is that's the... Well,
when you have say it's a scene with me talking to you and somebody else in a room,
yeah.
Okay? So the shot will be a long shot of us three in that conversation.
Lovely.
Then they'll want to know what your reaction is to my line. So they'll shoot, again, the whole scene, right. Not just that bit, the whole scene, over my shoulder looking at you.
Yeah.
Then they'll want to know what my reaction is when you answer. So they choose you. Move everything around, the camera goes behind you and shoots my scene. And then cutaways if they want to show somebody looking at his watch. I mean, it takes forever.
Yeah.
And then you just stood there doing it. You must do the scene probably about 8 or 10 times to get it, all the stuff they want in the can.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's quick and sometimes there's a problem. Hang on, the light's gone there. We got a new light. And then, you know, sound.
Yeah. And if you're not in the scene... You're in a car.
Well, I was in every scene. I was knackered. I was in every.
They got their money's worth with Johnny Tudor. They got their money's worth.
Yeah. But it was great bunch of people. They were, fantastic.
So that's 3 days filming. So that's, I mean, I was going to say that makes you tired. But then you had a gig as well. What was the gig?
Oh, well, I promised to do this ages ago. It's a thing called Bless 'Em All, which was all about the war years.
Yeah.
So Peter Lewis and Peter Lewis is a friend of mine. He was in the original cast of not Les Mis, what's the other one? Phantom. And we did Pantos together. So we did it between us. So we did like an hour and a half,
right,
of all the songs of the war years and things connected to it. And you know, I did a few jokes as well. And I sneaked in an Elvis medley because I thought, well, I'll say, he joined the army. I said, he had his hair shaved. So everything that was connected to the army. And it really went well. It was about, I suppose we did about an hour and a half,
Yeah.
But you know what it's like. You're humping your gear in and you're setting up.
You used your own PA again. Work. Did you bring the whole PA from?
Yeah, I took my own PA. Yeah,
oh,
you trust these PAs in these places.
And the thing is, you're interesting because you know, if you did remember this, you know, like Bluebirds over the White Cliffs of Dover, you think of Her Majesty passing away at the age of 96. My mother, 98. Those are the songs that they would have had in their sort of youth. But actually, if you're in your 60s, 70s, or early 80s, it is Elvis. And it's the Beatles now. It's the Rolling Stones, you know. So you're probably
right.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, we're getting up there now, so it's our parents' era we're thinking about.
Exactly.
But they were a mixture. There were people. There were some older people than me. There's some much younger than me, but they all enjoyed it because they all remembered the songs. You know, Long Way to Tipperary. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a long way to go.
And then I did this wonderful piece of music that Dorothy Squires did at the Palladium when I worked with her. And she had it written for her, put together for her. It was a thing called The Irony of War.
Oh, right.
And it's a fantastic piece. It lasts about 9 minutes. And it's a big sing, but it starts off with, Where Have All the Flowers Gone?
Right.
And then, you know, because it is ironic war, but it's stupid. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So then it goes to a thing that was in a film called, a musical called The Matahari.
Right.
And it's all about a little boy going off to war. And then he's faced with this kid in front of him who's his enemy, and he said, but he's the same as me, he's a boy, he's not yet a man, you know. Can I shoot him? And in the end he has to shoot it. And it's very actually it's hard to sing because you've got to keep yourself together. I feel myself cracking up at one point and you've got to be very careful not to go, you know what I mean?
You know,
and then it's a real, you know, so I did that. And then I did, what else did I do? I did American Trilogy because it was their war songs, but it was Elvis's war songs.
Bring Elvis into everything. That's good.
And then the second half, he said that we're demobbed now, the war's over now, right? So we do all the stuff from the 60s on then, see, because it's demobbed, 50s, 60s. So I did the Frankie Vaughan bit and, you know.
It's great. You just need a narrative, as they say, isn't it? To get it's the same act. Whatever we do, pantomime. Yes, this is when Frankie Vaughan went to Robinson Crusoe's island.
Well, you know what? Pantos is something else because they work anything into it. I remember my dad years ago. He played Man Friday, and he used to have a spot in the middle. He used to give you a bit of a variety spot somewhere in. Don't ask me why they do that. And he was a piano entertainer, see. Yeah. And he had a piano, it was washed up on the shore, you know. And he's touching it and running away. And they start to play it. And he goes into his act.
Brilliant, brilliant.
There was a girl, do you ever remember a saxophonist? She was jazz, Betty Smith, her name was. And she was a great saxophonist. Yeah. And she's on a ship. And she said, when she was in Paris, she said, "Here am I all alone. I think I'll play my saxophone."
That's brilliant. Well, it's not been a bad week with the record, Dream Out Loud.
Listen, you're having some coverage, mate.
Yes, it's still on the radio.
It's a good record, though. It's a good song. Where did you record it?
Well, I recorded a bit here in the shed, and then I went. Well, I tell you what. Let me play you a behind the scenes video of the making of Dream Out Loud. This recording of Dream Out Loud has been some time in the making, bringing together friends I've worked with over many, many years. Coordinating the session was legendary gospel music producer Les Moyer.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to dream out loud.
So we just arrived at Bam Bam Studios. We're just getting set up, waiting for the singers to come. The session is being arranged by Lawrence Johnson. I've also known Lawrence a long time. We've sung together on records and TV shows.
Hello, how are you?
But this is the first time he's sung on one of my records. And I'm beyond excited.
Chances, day.
There's another way. I'm gonna take my chances. I'm gonna seize the day. I'm gonna turn around, walk against the crowd. I'm gonna dream out Your love can conquer all. Oh, there's another way.
So there we are. That was down in a place called Bam Bam Studios down in South London, and Les Moyer, who helped me coordinate the whole thing. Les, I've known him for since the 1980s. We went on tour together when I left university, and then Lawrence Johnson, who put the choir together. He he's brilliant. He's helped form the London Community Gospel Choir. Then he was Simon Cowell's vocal, and he actually did a TV show with me with his band New Colours, and now he's just done the Sam Smith album.
Is it expensive to record these days?
Johnny. I can't tell you that because my family might be listening.
Your mother will kill you.
I spent the kids' inheritance on his career.
Yeah, the thing is, in the old days, we were lucky because the recording companies paid for everything.
Yeah. No, it was.
Well, you just turned up.
Exactly. But now it's interesting, Johnny. Every I'm investing in my future. There's not much of it left, so I might as well invest as much as I can.
Never give in, mate.
Never surrender.
Never.
No, it's getting lots of
fight them on the beaches. You'll fight them.
But the funny thing is, do you sell records now? Do you tour to sell records? Do you sell records, or do you do records to tour? I'm back in November now. I'm back on the road. I'm back in Park and Dare, Theatre Malden, the Wystside Arts Centre, Welfare in Astragunlais. And in a way, having the record on the radio,
well, it helps.
Such what. Hopefully, we'll sell the tickets. So people want to come and hear the songs.
Yeah.
So
people don't go out and buy records like they used. They just download them, don't they?
Absolutely. You press the button. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music and all that. So you just have to think of a different way around. But it's lovely having it's still a thrill. You remember what it's like, isn't it? By accident, you put the radio on. Suddenly, that's my record. That's brilliant.
Do you know what I used to love? I used to love when in the old days you'd record with the orchestra and you'd be there in the same studio, you know what I mean? You'd be in a box and all the band would be around you. There's a great feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then latterly, what I do then, they put the tracks on, I just go in and stick the voice on after. It's not the same feel as when you got that big band in there.
And it was lovely with the gospel choir. And the funny thing is, quite a lot of although they're London-based gospel singers, because the Apostolic Church started in Wales, in Penagros, a place called Penagros. They came out of the Welsh Revival and they went to Penagros and they had some visions and stuff, and they set up all these churches around the place. A lot of the churches were in London and then evolved into black gospel churches, but they still sort of owed their allegiance to the Penagros Apostolic Convention. So a lot of these, I was going to say kids, they're not kids anymore. As kids, they used to come back to Wales for the Apostolic Convention. So they knew all, they knew the band, they knew all the places. I've known some of them for 20 or 30 years. So there's a strong Welsh black gospel connection there. So in many ways it was and again, as you say, when you've got that many people all making a noise, whether it's playing an instrument or singing, it is fantastic. So okay, well we'll keep going.
Because apparently Sinatra would only ever do that, even when it was still done. He always wanted to go in the studio, and there's a wonderful video of his last big album that he made with a big orchestra, and he had all the top musicians, the Brecker brothers, he had George Benson on guitar. I mean, it's a fantastic, if you can get it, you'll be able to get it from somewhere on YouTube or something. I forget what it was called, but he's just making this album. It's wonderful.
If it's good enough for Frank Sinatra, it's good enough for Mal Pope and Johnny Tudor, eh?
Exactly. We go with the best.
All right, man, we'll have a good week and
you
stay safe and all that, and I'll speak to you. I've had me jab. I've had me next jab.
Oh, I had one last week. You were okay? You didn't get any after effects?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but my age is hard to tell whether there's a vaccine or just getting old, Johnny. It could just be
That's right.
old age.
Because I had a chest infection. I thought it was that. I caught a cold.
All right, well, it's goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from him.